let's just sew whatever.
All right, so we are gonna get started on cutting out the Goddess of the Sea with the Chevron Add-on. I am super excited to make this bag. I really love the way it looks, and I'm excited to have some fun with it. So I have these two vinyls I'm gonna be using for the front. And I've gone ahead and divided my pattern pieces up as far as what I need to cut out of my lining fabric, which is this stuff, and what I need to cut out of my exterior. I think one of my favorite parts about this pattern is that there is a coloring page included in the pattern so that you can kind of play with how you want the repeat and like what color you want where, that kind of stuff. So that's awesome. So these are the two vinyls that I'm using. These are going to be on my website, I believe January 15th. They are called Ace Glitter Vinyls. They are absolutely incredible. This one is Disco Ball, and then this one is Teal Tinsel. They are packed full of glitter. They're a glassy finish that isn't sticky. It's not sticky, but like it does stick to itself, you know what I mean? Because it's a glitter vinyl, but the backing is a really, really soft knit back. It doesn't have a ton of stretch, but there is a little stretch. But anyway, so I'm really excited to play with this. The colors are gorgeous, and it's not too thick. I want to say it's probably like 8 millimeters thick. Let me check. Yeah, it's like 0.8, not 8 millimeters. My God. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to be using. So I have my exterior gusset, and I have my lining top that I'm going to be cutting out of vinyl. And then, of course, we have our chevron pieces. So I'm going to kind of lay these out and figure out which ones I want for what color. So I'm thinking I want silver, teal, silver, teal, silver. So then for these pieces, we need to cut two this way because there's front and back, and then two mirrored because there's front and back mirror images. So this is going to take some time. It's going to be a labor of love, but I am really excited. I think I'm going to cut the gusset out of the teal as well, and we can get that whole piece out of this 18-inch strip. And then I'm going to make this a crossbody bag instead of the shoulder strap, just because for my customer base, that would be something they would reach for more than like just a shoulder bag. So I'm going to go ahead and start by cutting out the gusset. We need two of these out of the exterior fabric. Now, if you were going to make a crossbody strap out of this vinyl, you would want to cut that first because an 18-inch roll is about 54 inches long, and that is generally the length of a crossbody strap. I am using my rotary cutter to very carefully cut this out. I'm using the rainbow blades from Fabric Therapy, and they are working a treat. I have decided I'm not going to do the hidden strap connector on this. That's one of the features of the bag, and it is a very cool method. If you're interested in that, I highly recommend reading through the pattern so that you can get the instructions on it. But again, the crossbody really isn't something my customer base, or the shoulder strap isn't really something my customer base generally prefers. And so I'm just going to add the connector into the bag. There is a cut chart included with the pattern, which is awesome. So what I'm gonna do is you can either laminate it or I just use packing tape to cover the measurements and how many pieces. And then I'll just use an Expo marker to cross it off as I cut to help keep me oriented. All right. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. All right, so I have cut my exterior out of this gusset, and then it says I'm gonna need woven interfacing, but I'm not adding any interfacing. So I'm done with this pattern piece, so I'm just gonna put it on the bottom of my stack. Or you could clip it to your cut pieces to keep you organized, especially if you cut this bag out one day and then another day you start to sew. Okay. So I'm probably going to want to trace these out. Maybe not. So again, it says cut 2 of contrast and cut 2 mirrored of contrast exterior fabric. If you think you're going to make a ton of these, I would highly recommend purchasing templates, as since it's a lot of just straight pieces, it'll be so quick with a template. Okay. I might be better off cutting these like this way. All right, and then I am gonna stick to the same pattern piece all at the same time to keep myself organized. I'm gonna go ahead and call this AA4. And then we're gonna cut this one face up as well, and then we're gonna flip it over. I'll see how this fares with a pen. Oh yeah, that looks fine. I don't really trust myself to stay careful and focused with the rotary cutter that whole time, so I'm gonna trace. And cut. But I gotta get scissors. Okay. Okay. So then we're gonna mirror this piece, but since I'm tracing, I'm going to flip my pattern or my vinyl over, which means I want my pattern piece face up because it is the reverse on the other side. So I'm gonna call this one AA4. Because these are gonna go on the same side. And then this one, oh yeah, oh my gosh, how much better does it work on the wrong side of the fabric? AA4 back. AA4 back. All right. And then I will probably leave these clipped to that pattern piece. So that it's easier to differentiate when I get to the sewing machine. This pattern looks like a really fun turn off your brain kind of pattern because of all of the top stitching and the piecing. You're really gonna get a chance to just kind of sew a bunch of straight lines, and I'm really excited for that. There's a lot of artistry in top stitching, so like I said, I'm just really excited. All right, so I'll go ahead and clip all of these pieces together. I am not going to interface these with any kind of woven interfacing. I'm just gonna set them aside for now. I think if I use any interfacing, it is going to be the peel and stick on the back side after I'm done top stitching. Okay, so now I have this piece. Where did this pen come from? I can lay here. And then in the pattern, she mentions it's not a bad idea to trace out your seam allowance on the pattern just to really help you keep those stitches nice and straight. Because you butterfly open the seams, this is definitely a domestic friendly pattern. I think most of Carissa's patterns are, so that's awesome. And then Carissa also designs fabric, and she's got some great ones that would be perfect for the lining of this bag. They kind of mimic that chevron look, which is so cool. Okay, so I've got this piece. This is AA2, AA2, and then I want to flip it over. You got to make sure you mirror that pattern piece. We will cut that out. If you are worried about how much vinyl you're using, it can't hurt to kind of trace everything out first, or print your pattern out a few times so that you have enough pieces to kind of lay everything out together to plan your fabric. All right, AA2 back, AA2 back, and then we can cut all of these out. All those. All right, so that is all we need out of this teal one for now. May change my mind later. I may decide to cut like my zipper overlay out of it or something. AA2. There we go. And now I'm going to just take a quick peek. I've got AA2 and AA4. AA4. And I cut out my gusset, which is CCC, and I cut 2. So I really find that taping the cut list makes me feel like I'm on track. It keeps me focused. So I really like using that for that reason. OMG. A double-sided strap would be so good. Crap. Maybe I'll try it. All right, so I'm gonna make a 1-inch double-sided crossbody strap. So one side is gonna be cut to 2 inches wide, and then the other side is gonna be cut to 1.5 inches wide. And then when you lay them together, you'll kind of see a pop from one side to the other. So let's do that. So I'm gonna have the silver be the pop that you see on the underside. And this is why you want to cut this out first, because we have the full length of the vinyl to go with. So there's one side. Look at the glitter on this. It's just incredible. I like buying nail polish and I like buying vinyl. Okay, I got really distracted. Maybe I could do the exterior fabric on the other side, because I know I don't have enough of this vinyl. I could piece it together, but I don't want to. And I don't think, maybe I do. No, I don't have another roll of this because it's not releasing till like January, so I just have a little bit. So I will do the dice fabric on the exterior of the strap as well. I think it'll be a fun little nod. So the shoulder strap pieces are included, and I'm not really doing any of that. So I'm just kind of crossing it off so that I don't look at it later and wonder why I didn't cut that. I'll do my strap connector in this color though. So we can do that really quick. And that's a little 2x8 piece. So pretty. All right, back to what I was doing. All right, so now we have this whole pile here. We've got our top lining and all these other pieces. So here's a good little fill in all available space piece. And this would be a super fun bag to like go through your scrap box to find. This is AA1. And I'm flipping it to match up an edge, but keep in mind that this is not mirroring it, since I can still see the text on the pattern piece. When I flip it like this, now I've mirrored it. So now this is AA1 back. And now if I were to do that, this isn't flipped. Now it is. Although I think of all pieces, this is the one that doesn't matter. All right, AA1 back, AA1 back. May as well cut this. And then if you're like trying to cut this out in a hurry, you could also just kind of batch cut. So I've got that cut and clipped together, and then I can move on to another piece to cut and clip together. Go ahead and do this AA5. AA5. All right, so I've flipped it across the diagonal, and now this is a back because I cannot see the text on the pattern piece. So AA5 back. And if you need to, you can write back on your pattern piece so that you kind of know what's going on. AA5. Lately I've been like singing sentences to Dorothy because she'll pay attention to a song more than she will me talking. And I noticed I've been doing it when she's not around. That, and I really love when she sing responds to me. She'll go like, yeah, yeah. It's cute. All right. So now this is the last piece I need for the front panels. This is AA3. Did it again. And I don't know why I'm not using the pattern weights, but I should be. AA3. Guess I just like to suffer. AA3, and now back. AA3, back. AA3, back. did I already say out loud this would be perfect for going through your scrap bin? You could make like a rainbow chevron, or yeah, just a beautifully curated mess of a front panel as well, with all different kinds of colors. That could be cool. I could see this being really beautiful in cork as well, especially with the right kind of interfacing. All right, so here is all of AA3. We'll clip that pattern piece to it. And then I can mark that off my list, AA3. What am I stepping on? So I fast forwarded through cutting out the rest of those pieces, and I was chatting with friends on the internet, of course. All right, I've got all of those pieces cut out. I'm working on the top lining piece. Again, use the pattern weights. Okay, this is BBB1, BBB1, BBB1. And that one I only need to cut 2 exterior out of, which makes sense to me. Okay. Click it together, and what have you got? And then I'm gonna see if I can get my like zipper overlay out of this. Oh yeah, totally I can. But it might have to be a smaller pocket. And it looks like there's a pretty big pocket. It's like a 9-inch. It's about a 9-inch zippered pocket. So this is too small because I need a 10-inch wide piece for the overlay. But I can cut that out of this little chunk over here. Okay, so 10 by 2. And then I think I'm going to cut a little vinyl strip for the top of my lining slip pocket as well. And it looks like this is a 13-inch wide piece. So I'm going to cut a little strip that's 13 by 1. Yeah, I love that. All right, so that is it for my vinyl. Pretty sure. Let's see. So now I can trace out my zippered pocket. So we're going to measure 1 inch in from the side edges. And then 3/4 of an inch down from the top. And then we're going to cut out the center. Woo! Oh, it's so pretty. All right, all right, all right, all right. It's like I have a box full of precious jewels. It's so pretty. Okay, so I've got pattern piece AA1 and AA5. I've got a BBB1 lining, stabilizer, slip pocket trim. Oh, that's part of the pattern. Great, I love that. Great minds. So it seems like I have everything that needs to be cut out of my exterior and my contrast, other than like the hidden strap pieces that I'm not doing. So now we can move on to our lining. I am using printed water-resistant canvas for my lining. So I won't need to add any interfacing, which is exciting. And then I am doing that accent strap, so I want to start with that. So I've got a nice straight edge here, and I want to cut a piece that's 1.5 inches wide. 1.5 inches? Is that enough? Or is it 1.75? Honestly, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do 1 inch. If you do 1.5 inches, you're going to see more of the underside contrast fabric. So I'm pretty sure it's 1.5 inches. We'll get there. It's fine. I think the water resistant canvas is wider than, like, longer in fabric than my vinyl, but I'm not worried about that. And then I actually have another bag I need to make out of this. So I'm just going to cut my 4-inch strap for that now. So I'm one step closer to doing that, which I love for me. Okay. And now we can cut out our lining, which I think I'll have just enough of. Look, I think I have more of this fabric. I'm pretty sure I have more of this fabric. If not, I know where to get some. I might just know. All right, so I need 2 of these. And there are my two lining bottom pieces. Again, not going to interface this with woven interfacing. It's got enough structure as is, but I will very likely be interfacing my main exterior panels. All right, so I'm done with this pattern piece. I'm just going to set it in the back of the pile. I've got this slip pocket to cut out. I am going to do 2 pieces for it. All right, and then these are going to be placed wrong sides together, and then we're going to overlay the accent on top of it. So if you wanted to use double-sided tape to hold these together, you absolutely could. I'm just going to clip for now, and then I'm going to clip that accent strip to it so I know what goes where. Oh, look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, so excited. All right, so that is it for this slip pocket piece. I can put that behind us. I'll go ahead and mark off that I've cut out my slip pocket and my lining bottom. So now I still need the zipper pocket pieces. I cut my facing. I need the gusset. That's my strap accent piece. There should be just enough fabric on this side to cut my gusset. Let's see. Oh, so perfect. Keep the fabric from shifting, I'm pressing on the pattern weights, and that seems to work out pretty well. I like it. Okay, so that is my lining gusset. Oop. Actually, this bag isn't taking as long as I thought it would to cut out. I'm not gonna lie, it's Saturday and I had intended on making this Wednesday, and I've been kind of putting it off because I was like, it's gonna take forever. But it's not. All right, so 10. Oh, okay, she does her zipper pockets a little bit differently than I do. So I wanna make sure I cut these to 10 inches wide. 10 by 8 seems like a lot. So I'm gonna do like 10 by 7. You could do 10 by 7 and 10 by 6.5 because one of the sides is going to be shorter with the method we are using. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. That is 6.5 right there. Yeah, baby. And I think that's like just enough to do my custom order. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna make sure that's 10. And 7. So that is my zipper pocket lining. And that is all of our pieces cut. I cannot cut out my stabilizer piece yet because I don't know the finished size of that piece. I mean, technically I could lay together my top lining and my this lining piece, but I'm not going to. Let me go ahead and cut out my bottom stabilizer though really quick. I just need one of these and I'm going to use that interfacing. And I love that the cut measurements are listed on the piece. And so this is going to be scrumptious. So especially on a pattern that's pieced together the way this one is, having that peel and stick interfacing is just gonna make it go by so much faster. So I am super excited to sew this with you. This video will be released before sewing it is released. So make sure you have all of your pattern pieces ready. You've purchased the sewing pattern, of course, and I will see you in the next one.